We want to welcome in Coach Michael Davis of the Geraldine Bulldogs. His Bulldogs, another impressive win tonight at home against Westbrook Christian. Good evening, Coach. Welcome into Scoreboard, and another great performance for your Bulldogs at home tonight.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me on, Jeff.
Coach, talk about this football team, 11-1 on the year. The only loss coming to 5A Boaz back in the middle of the season, but impressive here what you've done. To me, especially in the playoffs against Rogers last week, scoring 59 points. And this Westbrook Christian team, they come in 10-1. They're on a hot streak coming in, and yet you handle business tonight at home.
Yeah, nothing but respect for what Westbrook does and Coach Smith and his staff do at Westbrook. They're an incredible football team, and as a high school football team, being able to play in November and have an opportunity like tonight just to play that game, in front of the community, in front of this crowd that we had, what an opportunity to coach in it, but also what an opportunity to play in it. And that's what we want. We want this experience for our kids, and we're super proud just to have another week together. You live week to week, and we're just glad to have another week together.
Coach, I want to talk about the game in just a moment, but congratulations to you. You go back to 2022, 9 wins, 12 wins, 9 wins last year, 11 wins this year. Talk about your program and what's made the difference in this Geraldine program, especially over the last 4 years.
These kids just love each other. It's not just a hobby around here. They live, eat, and breathe it, and they love each other, and the commitment to what we're doing, throughout the off season, throughout the year, they're truly committed to what we're doing. They love each other. When you do that and you put a group of young men together that love each other, that want to play, and they're selfless, you can do special things. And I just get tickled to death for them to accomplish things they set out to do, before the season, and they're just a joy to coach.
Well, Coach, I know the kids play hard for you, but you put in the work. Your staff puts in the work. It's been a collaborative effort there at Geraldine to put together an impressive streak like you've done. Here you're headed to the quarterfinals again. That's like 3 out of the last 4 years going to the quarterfinals, semifinals a couple of years ago. This has just been a great run for you and your staff.
It has, and our staff, our community, our quarterback club, our administration, it's just the buy-in is just incredible. It really is, and I couldn't ask for a better staff. Our staff works extremely hard. They love this school and this community, and it means just as much to them, as it does our community, because half our staff's from here, and the ones that aren't from here have really embodied, our culture here, and they felt like they've been here their whole life, and that's what we want. We're really a close-knit community, and we're just super proud for our community. It allows them to have something to do on Friday night, and they support us. And it's just really a good time to be a Geraldine Bulldog.
Well, Coach, talk a little bit about the game tonight. And I know you got up, maybe Westbrook even scored first. You came back and tied it up and then kind of took control of the football game. Talk about some of the big plays in the game that you thought and some of the young men that made those plays for you.
Yeah, so, we got the ball first and ended up having a punt. Westbrook took the ball and went down and scored, and so we had to handle some adversity pretty early. And our guys handled it well. In the second quarter, we ended up, I haven't looked at stats or anything like that, but we ended up correcting explosive play in the pass game and scored there and tied it up, and was able to create 2 more touchdowns before half, went in the half 21-7. Then we had some more explosive plays in the pass game. John Beck hit Cooper Johnson he had a big one-handed grab to continue a drive, and then we came back and had another explosive play in the pass game that set up another, both of those 2 plays set up 2 big touchdowns there in the second half. And, and then we had a big field goal by Lucas Phillips hit a field goal as well. That put us up 31-7 there, and they scored a touchdown. We couldn't really get the ball moving. We could have put the game away earlier, and we couldn't get the ball moving. And Westbrook did a really good job of going down and scoring and giving themselves an opportunity to for an onside kick. They ended up going for 2 and getting it, and didn't get the onside kick and were able to put it away. They battled all the way to the end, and I'm super proud of our guys for staying in the football game and just battling it out. But yeah, there's a couple of plays there that really were defining moments of the game, and I really feel like it was that touchdown there in the second quarter, that explosive pass that really got us back in it. And then we were able to read some things and do it the way we wanted to, and really had some really good decision making by John Beck Wade at quarterback, and just super proud of him. I mean, defensively, we did a really good job. Our defensive line did an excellent job handling them up front, and we didn't do a real good job on the perimeter at times, but I felt like we settled down and adjusted to the speed and was able to, play there in the second half.
Well, Coach Davis, this is Phil Harris. Of course, coming into this game, Westbrook very balanced. They run, throw. Their quarterback's, very dangerous running the football. Your guys, a lot of times you're run heavy. You want to control the football game. Did you feel like that was an important part of this game? No matter if you had to throw it or run it, you had to keep control of the football.
Yes. Yeah, you gotta do what the defense is giving you, and they know that we're a heavy run football team and what we want to do, and they were set up, to kind of stop some of those things with loading the box and things, and we knew that we had to throw the football. There's times we had to throw the football, and we were able to connect, and there's times we didn't tonight. Still, unfortunately, we had guys wide open, and just for whatever it may have been, we had drops and things like that, things we want back. But we were able to take what they give us. That's kind of how we live. We want to run the football, but if people are going to give us, passes and it's going to open up. So we just really just take what the defense gives us.
Well, Coach, a lot of people ask me, how is Coach Davis so successful at Geraldine? And part of what I'll tell them, I said, well, the thing is, I think about what Coach Davis is, his kids respect every opponent, and it's not like everybody does this, but it don't matter if you're playing Fife or Asbury or Westbrook or Mars Hill. You guys play close to the best. And it seems like you do a great job of keeping these kids head on us, head in the game, in that they don't look ahead and they just play a faceless opponent every week.
Yes, and that's always the goal, to get a little better each week, and that's kind of how we live. And if we're up by 60 and we're not performing the way we need to perform, they know that that's not our standard. That's not what we want. We don't really. Our games aren't really dictated on the scoreboard. It's really how we play from play to play, really, and that's how we grade film. We don't ever really talk about a scoreboard or anything like that, and that's how they're wired. They want to be the best version of themselves, play in, play out, and they live play to play, and that's just who we are. We lift on game days. It doesn't matter who we're playing. We're going to prepare the same way. We're going to practice the same way. We're going to practice at a high level, and if we're not practicing at a high level, they know that that's not the standard that we want, and that's just hats off to them too for buying into that. That's what we expect, but as a kid, you don't have to buy into that, and they choose to do that, and they want to be held to that standard. They want to be coached hard because they're ultimate competitors and they want to win, and they just buy into it and really want to be held to that standard, even when on the days they don't feel like it.
Well, Coach, the Geraldine Bulldogs a winner tonight, 31-15. You've got a common opponent. These guys. You've seen them, 2 out of the last 3 years. Mars Hill, you beat them a couple of years ago. Then last year they went on the state championship after that tough loss. Played them very close. So these guys, and you know how tough it's going to be next week on the road.
Yes, sir. We'll be on the road, and we're looking forward to it. Looking forward to another Friday night, and just it should be a good one. We expect our crowd and our community to travel and get behind us, and it's what you want. It's the type of game you want to go to in November for sure.
Yeah, Coach, headed back to the Elite Eight. Congratulations to you and your staff and, of course, the football team. And thanks for spending a few minutes with us this week on Scoreboard.
Hey, thank you for having me on.
That's Coach Michael Davis, done an outstanding job here in his 5th year as head man of the Geraldine Bulldogs, the 3rd double-digit win season for him. He won 12 in 2023. Well, actually, this is a second. He's had 2 9-win seasons and now 11-1 season for the Geraldine Bulldogs. 31-15 win tonight.
We talk about teams that are dangerous during the playoffs. We were talking about Marion County. I think Geraldine's starting to fall into that fold. If they get in the playoffs, watch out. They're going to be a tough out. I don't care who you play. You better not count. You better not take them lightly because this team just finds a way to stay in a football game. And Mars Hill's going to have to come to play next week because Geraldine's going to show up.
Again, they're familiar opponents.
Yeah.
Geraldine played them as close as anyone did last year on their way to a state championship. It's going to be a great game. Geraldine will have to travel next week on the road to Mars Hill. Mars Hill a winner tonight over Winfield, 42-6. Geraldine defeats Westbrook 31-15.